how to make animations in Fusion. So once you've got your assembly done, you've made all the joints, let's go ahead and change our workspace to animation. You can explore a lot of commands. I'll just quickly show you some of the commands that will help you get started. So this is your timeline, okay, and you can play and pause your animations. Everything that you do gets recorded here. If you want to modify something and you don't want it to be recorded, you would want to change this to a pause status. Okay, so Control R is the shortcut, but usually it's recording by default. So first thing you can do in your animation, and it's up to your creativity essentially, what you can do is create an exploded view of these parts. So you can actually see all your components here. Usually I like to use the manual explode. You can do auto explode, where if you've selected all of your parts and you click on auto explode, it takes all your parts apart, but usually it's not in the correct direction. So I like to do it myself. How would you do it? You would take one step at a time. So if it is your pin, let's see if this is the suitable view that I'm looking for, maybe a little bit zoomed out. I would select the first part that I want to disassemble. I'll click on manual explode. I'll select the direction I want to move it in, and I need to specify how much I want to explode. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we need to just explode all the parts, and that's where I want my animation to begin. You can have it however you want, honestly, but this is just something that looks nice, and you can repeat these steps for all the parts one by one. So in this, you can see that our knuckle pin is not in the view right now, so now it is fine. Let's do the same for the fork end as well. Okay, so once you're happy with all this, let's go ahead and start recording. For that, I will move my cursor to 1 second, and whatever I do now would be recorded as something that will happen from 0 to 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to create an animation of the assembly, and then I'll try to rotate the knuckle joint for like 90 degrees and show you that how it works in animation. Okay, so the first thing that needs to be assembled is the fork end. So I'm going to click on fork end, and I don't have to move it again. I can just click on restore home. And what you can see here is that my fork end has come back to the eye end, and it is also in the correct location. Now, before you do any more changes, make sure you move it to 2 seconds so that it's a separate step in animation. Next thing I want is the knuckle pin to come to the correct location. For that, I will click on restore home, and my knuckle pin comes to the correct location. You can repeat the steps for the rest of the parts. Okay, and if you take your cursor back and press play, this is what you've created. Okay, so it's not very difficult. It's just you can spend as much time as you want in perfecting it. Okay, next I just quickly want to show you how to have the motion of the joints. So let's create a motion of 2 seconds, for example. So I'll take it to 6 from 4. This time I will have to use the command for transform. It's very similar to how we had the move command in the design workspace. So I want to move my fork end. Make sure you have the pivot on the correct cylindrical surface where your joint is. I would suggest to use one of the circular faces. So make sure you've done that and press done. Once you are happy with the pivot point, then you can do your motion however much you want to rotate. You can click OK. If you do another 2 seconds, you can actually also rotate the view. And that is, you can keep doing the adjustments and Fusion will find a smoother motion between them. Also, you can do another motion, maybe to the other side. Just make sure to press OK. And then let's have a final step where we come back to the original view, maybe a little bit at an angle, and we will restore the home position. Okay, so I think if we start to play everything, we've created a nice little animation where it assembles and then our fork actually rotates. We've got some nice motion in the view as well, and you can keep perfecting it as much as you want. You can save the video by just clicking on publish video. You can do some settings, whatever resolution you want to export it into. Obviously, higher the resolution, longer it might take, and heavier the video might be. You can save usually .avi. So let's just go ahead and save it. It might take a while to publish the video, and that's it. That's how you create quick animations in Fusion.